Cooperation in video games is not as synonymous with social connection as you may think. I'd even say direct competition paves the way for deeper interaction and thus a deeper connection with other humans more often than cooperation does in gaming. For example, in fighting games, consider the myriad of reactions, calculations, and considerations each player makes in response to the other. The multitude of mind games being played with one another. The connection between the two opponents may not be a loving one, but their minds and thoughts are deeply linked nonetheless. Not that I'm claiming cooperation necessarily means a loving connection either. Have you seen how people talk to their teammates in games like League of Legends? Regardless, contrary to competitive games, there are many cooperative games which present a shared goal for players to strive for, but do not feature much interaction between teammates. Instead, players just play well individually to contribute toward a common goal. The whole team separately focuses on their own gameplay, their own role, only occasionally popping out of the ocean of isolation to revive a teammate or send some other form of support someone else's way before diving back into their own world. Think of how a group of musicians typically performs music at a concert. Together they play one song, but it's done by each musician individually focusing on their one role, playing their one instrument. Tetris Effect Connected's multiplayer co-op both embodies and defies this disconnected cooperation within a single game mode. The game's connected mode allows 3 players to team up and take down AI-controlled bosses. I only had one other friend to play with, but this game mode requires a team of 3, so I had to reunite with my greatest childhood friend, CPU. I had a weird childhood. Anyway, 3 players playing Tetris, each on their own boards, as the enemy boss, such as the giant enemy crab, hassles and hinders the players in a variety of ways, like turning the team's fields invisible, or dumping piles of crap almost literally on the beautiful build I worked so hard to construct. This phase of the game has the disconnected cooperation that I mentioned earlier. As a team, we have a shared goal of beating the big bad enemy boss, but that's about all we share. I'm not focused on how my comrades are faring, nor are they focused on me. The ally CPU probably doesn't even know I exist. All of us are just playing our own little game of Tetris. In fact, each of us interacts more, connects more with the enemy than one another. When my build pierces the upper limit of the playing field and my board shatters to pieces, it is my enemy's name I cry out, not my allies. Ugh, I hate Leo. However, this phase of play is not all that the connected game mode is. This game mode is defined by the other phase, the phase that occurs when we've collectively cleared enough lines, scored enough points to complete that tri-colored circle which surrounds all of the team's icons at the bottom of the screen. The phase when our individual worlds connect. Suddenly, our minds harmonizing to construct cooperatively. A conversation without words. There is no time for words. Time is running out, as that ever-depleting circle surrounding our icons warns us. We must build, we, together, without talking. I mean, I can assure you, Ally CPU definitely ain't interested in speech. Instead, we try to feel, try to not step on each other's toes while running a race in tandem. Falling into a shared rhythm, we fill the gaps in our build as our tower of cleared lines rises to the roof, an assault against the boss born of cooperative connection. And then our time runs out and we are each banished back to isolated worlds. A little more lonely, it feels, after being reminded of what it's like to be together. Even more lonely when I die right before this phase starts by messing up my patented forbidden fall technique, and I'm forced to watch as my two teammates connect with each other. I know some people are into that sort of thing, but it just makes me angry. It should have been me, not him. It's not fair. This connected form of cooperative gameplay is fantastic. I mean, sure, I thoroughly enjoy disconnected co-op too. Just being in the same space as another is nice, even if there is no intimate interaction happening. In the same way that sharing a room with a loved one is pleasant, even if the two of you are focused on separate tasks. That environment breeds idle chatter about random topics, which is delightful, but connected co-op is thrilling in a special way. To feel like my mind and my thoughts are interlinked with others as we hammer away to our shared goal is, quite simply, fun. The developers of this game, with this game mode, fulfill that lofty promise promised in the title of the game. Tetris Effect Connected connects. I've held my tongue since childhood. I didn't want to be rash, but if I don't get this off my chest, my controller might get smashed. I'm just gonna say it, and I don't care about the backlash. Ally CPU, you're absolutely trash.